Hello everyone, my name is Socasm, and this is another episode of Behind the Build. And today, this is Our Place in Space, the first episode. We'll be covering 3 planets and 3 different time periods. This is, I believe, the spawn world. Hold on, there's a hole here. Squirrel moment number 1 in the intro. I guess this is also behind the scenes. I'm going to start with this, even though it doesn't really look that remarkable. But if you do any type of town or village, and you don't want it to be like, oh, look at this, look at this, look at this, this is what you do. Now, this is clearly a UK sort of town. I'm American. We do have towns like this, well, we do have little places like this. It's getting a little bit more common. But I do like how the houses are made of brick, because that's one of my favorite materials. If you are in creative survival, it is a nightmare. But these all look the same, but they are a little bit different. So it's like, oh, they're not the same house duplicated over and over again. There is one really cool thing, though. Look how cool these windows are. Like, what a clever idea. Now, the road is a different story. I really like how detailed this road is. Let's see, we got two different types of basalt. And we got a deep slate, another type of deep slate. Or that could be deep slate with ore. But yeah, this is a very nice build. Very simple. It gets the job done. That's all there is to this part. Oh, wait. There is actually one more part. I almost forgot. These trees. Custom trees are one of those things that are I have not gotten better at them. But this is really nice. Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next part. See you then. Here we are. We made it past the moon. And we are back at school. See, this is the main example of what you want focused on, which is the school. It also uses layering. And then some common things you'll find in this one a lot is brick. Now, brick and terracotta are made for each other. I love the use of jungle because I just like that texture. It's a nice color. I love this subtle color too. Another thing I pointed out before is if you have multiple buildings and you want them to sort of like look like they belong together, you do similar colors and shapes, but make it a little bit different. And this is a really cool method. Like, this is super detailed, right? Well, mostly detailed. And then here is a background. Kind of like the movie background. And it's very simple. So it does have some cool shapes, like the stairs things. That is a cool idea. Once again, the custom trees. This time it has stone in it. Andesite. Little, we'll say football field. Not completely uncouth. Got to Venus. And when traveled back in time to World War II, we are in Belfast, Ireland. This has to be one of my favorites. Once again, the road is amazing. The houses, once again, have this similar look, different shapes. They're textured enough just to give it a little pizzazz. And we have the case of the missing this weird flower pots. 7 I found this time. It's really cool. You can just go around and explore here. That is so nice. Look at this. The flower shop. You can't really get in there, but very similar, different. Oh. How many of these are going to find around here? And this is pretty cool. Because it just kind of repeats. We got stone, sandstone, stone. That white stuff I don't like to use. Stone. So in this one, they did try to make it look a lot different. But still fit in just fine. So that is pretty well done. Oh, we found more. Kind of looks like a goldfish, doesn't it? That lost its color. Not horrific blimps. What is over there? Will there ever be a time that I don't get distracted? It looks like cars. Let's find out what that is. Okay, while I was looking around, like, oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. And I saw, like, what is this thing? And it's just like some vintage cars. They're just feeding my squirrel moments. What is this? Is this like a failed one they didn't like? Looks like. Okay. I can never promise that these squirrel moments will end. And for our final stop of this episode of Behind the Build, we are in a western town. And I'm very excited. I covered why because I am from the West. And I have visited places like this. I don't live in southern Utah. But I visit there. Oh, I think every other year. And if you ever want to, you should. There's a few great places. Alright, so why do I like this one so much? It's home. I have visited places like this. Like in ghost towns like in Wyoming. Anyways, once again, it's kind of row buildings, which is very common. But when you do row buildings, you can make them look extremely different. Like this. Like different types of wood, different patterns. It has some nice overhang, simple overhang. Here's a very simple overhang ideas. These gates. And you have stairs and trapdoors. You don't have to go all fancy to make your build stand out. You can, but you don't have to. Here, another good use is the dimension here. These are half slabs. You make it full. It kind of looks like the ceiling doesn't go all the way. All these have something in common. They all use my favorite, spruce, in some way or the other. That ties it all together. Now, if you do a Western build, you should definitely look into a lot of it. Some lot of it was wood, made out of wood. But one of the places we go to is Capitol Reef. There is a few buildings remaining there from when it was a town. And it's really cool because the buildings that are there are made out of local stone. And it keeps it, it's supposed to like keep it cool or hot during, you know, certain times of the year. So don't limit yourself on materials. All right, I'm going to end here because this is a really cool detailed build because you're supposed to go here and be like, wow, this is so cool. for those buildings which you'll just walk past. It's a very cool use of wood. Interesting ways they did that. I suppose this is supposed to be dead coral. This is one fantastic build. Is why. So, I watch a lot of like B-dubs, Grian, Hermitcraft, Pearlescent Moon, so on, Scar, all these things. And something B-dub said in one of his video is you don't want to do it random. Like you do that wall, and then for like where it looks worn, you do a different texture and it brings. Now this is what I love. Because it is so, like if you go to some place like Grand Canyon, Southern Utah, or other places, this is how it looks. It's different layers that all sort of blend together, but you can tell it's different. Fun geology fact is these layers, if like in real life, is from the earth pushing, you know, parts up during like earthquakes and all that. They have different stuff in it that is from different time periods. That's it for this episode of Behind the Build. There'll be more coming, and I'm very excited to get to it. And I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one. Bye.